Creatures, it's Saturday night. You know what that means. AEW Collision. And we had Rampage tonight as well. So 3 hours. Thank you to anyone who did watch the watch along with me. I appreciate it. My dark heart is full. And I absolutely appreciate everyone who's engaging with me throughout the show. We have a really good time doing our watch alongs. If you ain't watching, I don't know what's up with you. Now, let's talk about the show here because while this was a great show and Vancouver was an amazing crowd, this is their first time being in Vancouver. The predictability is a huge killer. I guess Tony Khan figures, hey, my superstars gonna go out there and they're going to deliver every fucking time, and they normally do almost every time. And it's just like, because he's banking on that, the predictability shouldn't matter. And yes, it does. We're tired of seeing the same people win every single time. Starting off with our opening match, Top Flight versus Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli. Y'all know I love me some BCC. But it made sense for them to win, especially Bryan needed to get these little reps up so that he can be ready for Anarchy at the Arena. And I'm looking at this and I'm just like, damn, Top Flight, they're really great. They should have probably given them a heel tag team to go against some team where it's just like, okay, they lost, we don't feel sorry for them. And unfortunately, that's not the route they went with. Top Flight gave an amazing fight. And I'm just like, Tony Khan, are you not seeing how great Top Flight is? Why are there no titles on these guys? Why aren't they part of a big storyline where they can lead into winning titles? For whatever reason, I have no clue. Really great opening match here. These guys, man, they are freaking hungry. All four of them are freaking hungry. And you can tell they love pro wrestling. They love what they do. But y'all already know Top Flight do fall short of taking the win here. So they lose. And once they lose, they're walking away. But Bryan is giving them props. And then the Vancouver crowd is cheering for Top Flight as they walk away. And I'm really glad that happened. You know, because he's giving them props despite them losing. And people do love these guys who just don't have the opportunities to be in better positions. Now, Bryan is talking about why he's part of Team AEW. And the second he started talking about that, Claudio Castagnoli just walks away. Like, he doesn't look angry, but he looks annoyed. He walks away, and I'm just like, okay, this is weird. Why would he just walk off like that? Maybe he don't want to hear any of this bullshit talking like me. I don't want to hear any talking. I want to see some wrestling. Now, Bryan is talking about how he's doing because he loved AEW. He'll do anything to defend it. Blah, 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 blah. Let me save y'all the story. And everybody's cheering for Bryan. Great. Now, after this, we have Will Ospreay versus Lee Moriarty, which I wasn't expecting to come on so soon on the show. While this was a really great match, I'm just going to say it. I've seen many matches with Lee Moriarty. He is a technical monster, and I just feel like he wasn't as technical as I've seen him before. And I was expecting it to be more technical between him and Will Ospreay. If anything, this was a little warm-up for Will Ospreay for some reason, and I'm just like, Lee Moriarty is better than this. It's almost like as if maybe he dumbed it down so that we can really showcase how great Will Ospreay is. I don't know what this is. Like, we had Shane Taylor ringside who did distract Will Ospreay a few times. We also had Roderick Strong, who's on commentary running his trap with Nigel McGuinness, and these guys are just fucking lovely together. I love them together in commentary, annoying the hell out of Shivani, who's sitting between them. And then we had the Kingdom, who are with Roderick as well. Now, like I said, I'm watching this and I'm just like, I know Lee. Lee is very technical. It just wasn't enough here in terms of what I always see with Lee. Now, Lee obviously loses to Will Ospreay. And I'm getting to the point where it's just like, I love you, Will. But it's like, you want to win all the time? I don't know. I'm over it. Anyway, Will Ospreay does tease doing a Tiger Driver 91. But he promised, ever since he hit that on Bryan at the pay-per-view, that he would never do that move again. But he was looking dead in the eyes of Roderick Strong, trying to show him, like, kind of, I guess, to intimidate him or whatever. But he doesn't use the move. But he ends up taking the win. And after he wins, Shane Taylor comes in and put a beat down on Will Ospreay. And I was just like, at this point, I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it because I'm tired of seeing you win, even though I really do like you. Now, Shane Taylor leaves, but Roderick Strong and the Kingdom, they come into the ring, pretty much kind of taking the credit for the beatdown. They like posing in front of Will Ospreay and everything, like it was them that did it, and that cracked me up. I love these guys. I really, really do. Thank God Wardlow wasn't there. What is going on with Wardlow? I have no clue. But I'm glad he wasn't there because really, he doesn't fit with this group. If anything, they can quietly get him out that group. Nobody's going to miss him being part of the Undisputed Kingdom. Trust me, nobody's going to miss him. Now, let's talk about Brian Cage in the Gates of Agony versus I don't know their names, but two of them are twins and they look like the Island Boys. And for whatever reason, we were all cracking up during the live stream because they just really look like them. But anyway, but I've seen them before. They were on AEW before. It doesn't even matter because when I tell you, Brian and the Gates of Agony beat these guys in like 2 seconds, literally. And I'm just like, who is supposed to be entertained by this? Who? We have not seen these guys in action in a long time. And you put them in a squash match against twigs that they can easily just throw like a frisbee. And we're supposed to sit here and appreciate this. We're supposed to look at the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage and just be like, oh, they were in the ring for 2 seconds. That was the best match we've ever seen them do. No. People don't want to see 2-second bullshit, Tony Khan. You're like insulting our intelligence when you want us to believe that you're building a team or somebody up by putting them in a squash match. I don't think so, Tony Khan. Now, should I even say that they won? Obviously, they won. And after they win, Tony Schiavone is struggling like an old man to get in the ring. He comes in the ring, and then he goes on and asks Brian Cage, well, why did y'all attack Swerve? Now, Brian is like, well, we already told y'all why we did it. And I was like, no, you didn't. Not really. So most people probably don't even see this, but they did do like these videos, these promos after the attack, and all that shit was posted on X and Facebook. Many of us, we don't even look at that type of stuff, so we don't really know. So a lot of people did not see that response as to why they did what they did. So Brian probably should have never said that. We already said it, because honestly, you kind of didn't. Now he's explaining why they did what they did, because Swerve was going to the Promised Land and he basically left the Mogul Embassy. And I get that. It makes sense as to why that was the situation. Now, we hear Swerve's song come on, and I'm like, whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve is nowhere to be seen, and Brian Cage start walking up the stage while Toa Leona and Bishop Khan stayed back. Bishop Khan, Lord have mercy. Oh, God, those abs. They stayed back, and then Swerve came from the crowd from behind, and he took a chain and he put it around Bishop Khan's neck, and then he pretty much threw him out the ring with the chain or whatnot. So now it's Bishop Khan going against Swerve. Swerve ended up taking that chain, wrapping it around, and then end up kind of locking it somehow onto the ring post, and Bishop Khan can't go nowhere. Now, when Swerve turned around, here comes Toa Leona, pretty much giving him kind of sort of like a spear-ish thing, where he ends up just pretty much throwing his big-ass body on Swerve, and Swerve ends up falling onto the ground. Toa Leona, for a little bit, got the upper hand here, and he's getting ready to attack Swerve. But we don't see this, but Swerve is already preparing to defend himself with what? A cinder block, you guys. Remember, Swerve had used that cinder block on Keith Lee a long time ago when he was with the Mogul affiliates, those two little white boys who aren't even with the company anymore. That was a long time ago. So he brings back the cinder block, and then he ends up attacking Toa Leona, puts his head on the steel steps, takes a chair to hit Toa Leona in the head with, but he hits the steps with it, and it's just like with the camera angle, you can tell he missed Toa Leona's head by like 1 billion miles, and it just kind of looks horrible. I wish the camera angle was like a different way so it didn't look so obvious. The whole time this is happening to the Gates of Agony, Brian Cage is just standing on stage like, I don't care about them. I don't care. You can do what you want to them. But it was actually funny. Later on, we have Swerve, who basically says that, you know, he wants to have a match with Brian Cage. So we get a match between these two for the world title next week on Dynamite. And I called it. I called it a long time ago. Daniel Garcia, who comes to the ring, no crop top this week, but he gives us two little pumps at the stage, and he walks down to the ring. His opponent is already there. His name is KM, and he looks like he could be Big Bill's cousin or something, because he's big, he's tall, not quite have the abs like Big Bill, but he's there. This wasn't a squash like I thought it would be. They let KM do a little something, because obviously it wouldn't be believable if Daniel Garcia just came in the ring and just beat him up in just 2 seconds, like they've been doing for the rest of the night. Now, the match, nothing special, just giving Daniel Garcia something to do. Say, hey, you employed, you have to get in the ring and do something. Now, Daniel Garcia, he does this thing where he gets his opponents like leaning against the corner, and then he's like on the second rope, and he's putting his freaking crotch in front of their face, and giving that dance and all that stuff. And I'm just like, hey, maybe the ladies won't mind, but the guys, I don't think they're really happy about this. Now, he does all that. He ends up taking the win with, I don't even know how he won the match. I don't really care. I don't care for squashes. And right after he wins, KM already leaves the ring, and I guess he's celebrating. And for a split second, and I knew I was right. I knew it during the live stream. I was like, wait, something's happening here. What ended up happening was somebody from the crowd, some deranged fan, runs into the ring, and I don't know if there was just trying to get in the ring and just do something for fun, just to show everybody, hey, look at me, I'm in the ring. Or maybe he was trying to see if Daniel would put his crotch in front of his face. I don't know what he was looking for, but he runs up in there. The camera catches it for a split second, and then the camera just gets onto something random, so we don't see what happens. Later on, we do see that people from the crowd have released some footage of this fan who ran into the ring. His knee or quad gave out on him or whatever on his way in the ring, so he couldn't get to Daniel, and a referee and a security guard ends up tackling him down. And I'm just like, whoa, wow, that is so stupid of you. The first time that they're in Vancouver and you do this stupid shit, and now your ass can't come back to any of these shows. That's stupid. All right, you guys. Dax Harwood versus Tom Billington, also known as the Dynamite Kid. This is his nephew, okay? The original Dynamite Kid's nephew. Oh my gosh. This kid did so good. He really did so good. Matter of fact, I'm going to put a picture here so you guys can see. He looks like a reincarnation of his uncle. And I'm just looking at him, I'm just like, what? How does somebody look so much like an uncle? It's funny. This was a really great match. Yeah, the pacing was a little bit slower. And at first I was thinking Dax Harwood probably not the best opponent. But by the end of this match, I was just like, this was the best opponent for him to have for his first match here in AEW. I don't know if we're going to ever see Tommy again in AEW, but Tony Khan, if you're not calling this guy to say, hey, come back again in the near future, you're crazy. He is really great, really impressed me. I wasn't sure what to expect here. I have not seen him. I have not seen him in the ring, and I was blown away. And I thought he did a really great job. A couple of hiccups here and there. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but the Vancouver crowd was absolutely feeling it. They loved it. And just to hear everyone making so much noise for this young guy. I think he's like, 24, 25 years old. Really, really young. And he's doing his thing out there. Dax Harwood, you're going to have to learn how to keep up with these little babies in the ring. We see your age is really showing. And I know Dax Harwood don't get a lot of praise for him being a singles competitor, but he did great too. And props to Tommy, who did a really amazing job. My only complaint here is Dax Harwood taking the win with a slingshot powerbomb. I just felt like after everything we just saw this young man do with Dax, this didn't really seem like something that he would just lay down and get counted to 3 on. Like, it just didn't feel like that would have been the best finisher for this match. I wish it would have ended with something else. I don't even know what the hell Dax's finisher is, to be honest with you, without Cash. So I didn't care too much for the finish. However, this was a really great match. This young guy Tony Khan, call him up. If Tony Khan don't call you, whoever it is that's calling you, pick up the phone. You did a really great job. I would love to see this guy again. He did really, really great. And the crowd loved him, even after they left him in a ring by himself and they gave him a dap and everything, and the crowd was cheering for him. This was a really great night for him. After this, we get the Elite promo from last week, and Jack Perry is pretty much putting everybody on notice about what he gonna do at Anarchy in the Arena. That's great, whatever. Young Bucks, they over there bullying Christopher Daniels, who was just walking by, and Christopher Daniels is like, "Oh, y'all don't know who I am. Y'all obviously don't know who I am." He said something like, how much he works hard or whatnot. And he said, "I was you guys' friends when being your friends was the hardest thing in the world to do." And I was just like, holy shit, like, that's not a good thing at all. Later on, we do have Christopher Daniels, who basically said he teaming up with Matt Sydal for the billionth time, and they're going to go against the Young Bucks next week on Dynamite. By the end of the night, they said like 50 matches was going to go on Dynamite. So I don't know how all that's going to work out, but yeah, we already know what's going to happen. They're going to lose. Up next, we had the ladies in action: Thunder Rosa versus Robin Renegade. Another great match. This time they were actually paying attention on commentary and talking about the ladies and anything regarding the women's division during this match. Great. Once again, Thunder Rosa wins, Robin loses for the billionth time, and it's just like, oh my god, I could have watched this show in my sleep because everything here is predictable. But this was a great match, and I'm glad that Robin didn't even get a jobber's entrance. They played her music. They let her come out to her music. That's great. Wasn't a squash match either. This was a nice little match between two women, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Kudos to Robin for doing a really great job. But I really wish to see these girls take a win. For once, please. Now, after this, though, we do have Taya Valkyrie and Johnny TB putting their tongues on each other's throat for the millionth time, basically letting us know that Johnny's going to be going against Pac for the main event on Rampage. Great. Now time for the main event for Collision. We had Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Copeland in a really great match. Kyle O'Reilly, where have you been? Where the fuck have you been? He is just so freaking good. He's a breath of fresh air. For real. He's really, really great in the ring. Maybe people don't really care too much about the personality. Maybe they think he's lacking in personality. Well, you know what? Last week he had an episode on AEW with RJ City, and he was absolutely hilarious. He was hilarious. I love his personality. But in the ring, maybe he's lacking some. But, I mean, the way he wrestles is just amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, we did have towards the end of this match where Kyle pretends he was hurt, just to have Adam feeling a little sorry for him, and he ends up putting Adam in a submission, basically saying, "Yeah, I'm crying possum," to hopefully get a win here. The TNT title is on the line, and he's going to do whatever it takes for him to take that win. Obviously, he doesn't win. Adam wins, and that makes sense, but I would love to see any title on Kyle O'Reilly in the near future. This guy is just getting started. I think he's just now cooking up, and he is looking amazing in the ring, and I absolutely enjoyed this match, and I can't wait to see what's next for both of these guys. Adam Copeland has just been so amazing. For everybody who's been making fun of him being in AEW and saying all this stupid shit, y'all are missing out if you're not watching Adam Copeland in AEW to see what he is doing. Seeing him in these matchups that we've never seen before has just been absolutely amazing, and his career is definitely at another place compared to where it was in WWE, and I'm absolutely enjoying what we got with him. Now later on, we do have Adam Copeland, who's in this like steel cage barbed wire thing, and it is turning me on. He has this aggression, his eyes, those eyes are just popping out. He just looks so beautiful, okay? Adam Copeland is a beautiful man, and he's talking about how he went with all the other members of House of Black except Malachi. Malachi, bring your ass to the ring at Double or Nothing. We're going to be in a steel cage with barbed wires. Barbed wire steel cage match, I think he said. And whoever wins get a TNT title. And the way Adam did that, it's just, like I said, It turned me on. This guy's he's improved so much in different ways where it's just like, did you ever think Adam Copeland can get better? Yes, he can. And yes, he has in AEW. So you guys, I'm so excited to see us finally get a steel cage match in God knows how long in AEW. Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black. I cannot wait. All right. So Rampage. And we have Claudio Castagnoli, who is leaving the building. And they're asking him, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you leave during Bryan Danielson's speech? And he goes, look, I understand why he wants to defend AEW, but Eddie Kingston's on that team. I don't fuck with Eddie Kingston, and I can't stand him. And he doesn't want Bryan Danielson to be in this match and be hurt like he did last time. Now, I get where he's coming from. And then again, I'm just like, wait a minute. This is about Eddie Kingston. When I tell you Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli beef will never be finished, it will never be finished. Now, Trent Beretta versus Dalton Castle. Where do I... Trent, I've been wanting Trent to be heel for a really long time, and it's happened, and I'm just not impressed. Like, why are they not having him just being as aggressive as he can possibly be? Are y'all building up to the aggression, or is this it? Is this as aggressive as he can be? Because I don't see it at all. Now, he has this match with Dalton Castle, and honestly, I'm preferring what I'm seeing with Dalton over Trent Beretta, and I'm just like, Trent, baby, you got to go back to the drawing board here. Like, if this is how being a heel is, then you're not a heel. You're not it by a long shot. They need to do something about this. I'm not feeling it. Trent, though, Trent goes for, guess what? A submission for the win. A Hell's Gate. And I couldn't believe it because I have not seen a Hell's Gate since Bay has done his last Hell's Gate. And I'm just like, holy shit. You know what? Everything I said about Trent Beretta during the match, I took it back because he hit the Hell's Gate for the win. And I'm happy with it. But I'm bored with this whole character change of Trent Beretta. Trent Beretta, give me a call and I'll tell you what to do so you can be a much believable heel. Up next, we have Brian Keith in action. I cannot stand the new theme song he has. Tony Khan, you couldn't afford to get Still Tipping. What's going on? His opponent is already in the ring, and it's JD Drake. And I'm just like, oh, y'all gonna try my dog like that? Like, JD, that's my dog. Like, he's really amazing in the ring. Y'all gonna put him in a squash? Well, this wasn't a typical squash, but yes, he did end up losing. The finisher of that match it was botched, so it wasn't great. I don't care. I'm bored. Brian wins. Then we have Deonna Purrazzo versus Lady Frost, which was actually pretty good. And man, Deonna getting in the ring with Lady Frost, like Lady Frost did something to her. And I was just like, girl, why are you taking up all that anger up on her like it's personal? And that mentality ends up getting her the win for this match. But Lady Frost loses every fucking time she's in the ring. Every time. Like, really? Oh, God, the predictability is killing me. Anyway, we had a music video. Acclaim doing a music video, okay? Whatever new song that they got going on. And I'm just like, again, like, what is it about them? Well, you know what? Let me take that back. What is it about Max Caster that this guy can never get fired? This guy can never have some disciplinary situations to be going through. Like, whatever reason, everyone still loves the Acclaim, or is it just you, Tony Khan? Now, main event, before the main event, we had Scorpio Sky, video package for him who's back from another injury, and he's ready to get back in the ring. So that'll be great. I would like to see that. If you're not in the ring, I just want to see you, Scorpio Sky. Just see you. Now, main event, Pac versus Johnny TV. Another great match. Well, Taya Valkyrie is doing everything to make sure her man wins this match. And she keeps just popping up, distracting Pac. And Pac is just annoyed as hell. No matter what's going on, Pac has a straight face. He's a no-nonsense type of guy. He gets to the ring, gets shit done, whoops some ass, and leaves type of guy. But Taya is playing games, Johnny playing games, and he's annoyed. He ends up winning this match. Johnny ends up hitting his wife by accident, and with that distraction, that ends up helping Pac takes the win via submission. But after this, we do have the Bang Bang Gang. They come on the big TV screen, and Jay White is making fun of Pac. And I didn't hear about this. I don't know if this was the case, but I'm hearing people say that they're supposed to be going against each other at the pay-per-view, and I'm just like, oh, so Jay White versus Pac, or are we doing something about those trios titles or something? Because honestly, I'd rather just see Death Triangle go against the Bang Bang Gang and possibly getting those titles off them. No one with titles should be fucking safe right now. Like, no one with titles should be stress-free. Like, if you have a title, y'all should be rating and defending. I don't want to see people just sitting idle and sitting pretty with titles on. Anybody who has a title and could be on the pay-per-view better be putting those things on the line. Well, I would like to see Pac and Jay White one-on-one. I'd rather the titles instead. Guys, it was alright. The watch along is a little bit more fun. It makes it more fun because you got like-minded people who are watching wrestling and having a great time, and it's really, really fun. But sometimes I'm just like, hey, without the watch along, I probably would not enjoy the show as much. Go back and see Tommy Billington versus Dax Harwood, which is really great. Adam Copeland and Kyle O'Reilly was great. The opening for Collision was great with Top Flight and BCC. There was some great stuff, but the predictability is always going to be a huge killer, and it's going to be the reason why a lot of people don't stick around watching AEW, because it's always those very same people that I said won their matches are the people who are always freaking winning. And when you always have these same things happening all the time, people are just like, I want something new. And when you can't give them something new, they're going to find it elsewhere. Tony Khan. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. No more Dark Side of the Ring. So you guys can catch me next Wednesday with Dynamite. And I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys then. Bye.